In our top story this hour, President Cyril Ramaphosa has announced Dr. Silas Ramaite as the acting National Director of Public Prosecutions.
The Constitutional Court declared the appointment of Shaun Abrahams invalid and gave the President 90 days to appoint a new head of the National Prosecutions Authority. Ramaite was selected amongst the 4 deputy directors of the NPA, including Nomcemba Jiba, Willie Hofmeyer and Nomvula Mokhatla.
The ANC has released a statement welcoming the prompt appointment by the President. Well, to talk to us a little bit more about this story, we're now joined on the line by constitutional law expert, Professor Pierre De Vos. Professor, thanks very much for joining us. Your thoughts on this rather prompt appointment by President Ramaphosa?
Well, it's an acting appointment, and it was obviously necessary because the court ruling meant that the NPA was now without a head. So from the moment the court made its judgment, there was no head to the prosecuting authority, so an acting head had to be appointed. It was only going to be one of the 4 people, one of them really being disqualified already because the President has already indicated that he is considering suspending her and maybe having her removed from office, so she couldn't be appointed. So it was among the 3 remaining candidates, and the President selected one of them.
All right, so he has 90 days to appoint a new NDPP, head of the prosecuting authority. He's not bound by the same rules as the appointment of an acting head.
That's correct. So the requirements in the NPA Act says that the President can appoint the head of the prosecuting authority. The minimum requirements formally being that the person must have a legal qualification and must be a fit and proper person with due regard to the integrity, etc. So the formal requirements are relatively limited. So there's a very wide discretion for the President to select somebody with a legal background to head up the prosecuting authority, at least in terms of formal qualifications.
What kind of person do you think that the President is going to need to find to start restoring the integrity of the authority? Well,
it's as the Constitutional Court and many other courts have noted over the years, things have not been very stable at the National Prosecuting Authority. There's been a lot of infighting, there's been a lot of controversy, and so the court has also in previous judgments said that what is important is to appoint somebody who is independent, who is fearless, who will make decisions based on the law and not obviously on other factors like political considerations. So that would be to appoint a good person. You would have to find that person who is politically astute but not politically compromised in any way by being too close to a political faction or whatever the case might be. And also not seen as beholden to other financial or other interests in society, big business or whatever. That's really the requirement. So that's obviously going to be, it might be a little bit of a difficult task because the President will also have to decide is he going to appoint somebody who's already got experience within the NPA, or is he going to appoint somebody from outside? So that would probably be one of the big considerations as well.
Given what's happened in the last 10 years or so with this department, big conversations being had around the absolute power given to the President to appoint the head of this authority, and that perhaps a new version or new way should be sought. Important conversations that will be coming in the next few months, I'm sure.
Yes, because obviously in terms of the Constitution and the law, the President is the one who makes the appointment. So some people have said maybe the fact that there's not really any kind of checks and balances in the process is a problem. Some other kind of appointments are made, for example, by the National Assembly after there's a process of interviews, a more open process. Some people, at the time when the Constitution was drafted, suggested maybe the Judicial Service Commission, who selects judges, should be doing the appointment. But in order for the appointment procedure to change, formally, legally, you would have to change the Constitution. So that would be rather difficult. That doesn't mean, of course, that the President in this round cannot make the process more transparent. He's free to do that as long as he makes the final decision. So whether he will do that, I don't know, but nothing prevents him from, for example, making a short list, announcing it, getting people to comment. He could do all of those things as long as he does this within a 90-day period.
All right. Thank you very much indeed, Professor Pierre De Vos, who's a constitutional law expert, speaking to us on the line. Palesa?